So one of the biggest things maybe that you're facing as a local church as far as pastoral care goes within your church, and that is marital issues. So many couples are struggling at this point, and the reason that most couples are struggling is because they have not been taught how to be, by their previous generation, how to be good husbands and good wives. When I talk to couples that I've talked to, and I've talked to literally thousands of them at this point, I always ask them, who taught you how to be a good husband? And if there even was a good example in the home, what you're going to get from them is that they witnessed a healthy marriage, but nobody actually taught them. It's one thing to watch a YouTube video and do heart surgery. It's another thing to go to school and to be trained to do heart surgery. I would take the latter over the former any day. But a lot of the problem that we're seeing in our marriages is obviously the responsibility of the couple, but there was nobody setting them up for success. And so you're going to have to help them. And from the stage, it's going to be promoted in sermon series. And maybe you guys do a marriage conference, or maybe you attend a marriage conference. And they're going to talk about what could be. And so couples are going to sit in your local church and they're going to say, how do we get from here, which is almost hell on a popsicle stick, to where you're talking about that we can be. And so you're going to have to help develop a plan. And I believe that plan involves a couple of steps. One, you're going to need to have some healthy small groups that deal specifically with marriage. This isn't a small group video, but that's a part of it. And you're going to have to understand the strategy that goes with it. Two, you're going to have to find some couples who have a passion for those couples, that when they get in trouble, and the trouble is so chaotic that they are disruptive to the group. Everybody, potentially, you've been in that small group where you've got Stan and Sarah, and their marriage is so traumatic that every time they walk in the door, everybody hits their forehead and says, oh my gosh, they're here again. Because what's going to happen, unless it's dealt with, is they're going to manipulate the whole time because they're so traumatized by what's going on. So you're going to need some couples that have the ability to sit with couples like that. And I would draw them from couples who love marriages and who have gone through a little bit of life, right? If you've been married a week or a year, you're not ready to deal with that kind of stuff. But if you got a little life under your belt, then you're ready to deal and help them. Again, getting them on a specific course, a specific plan, ultimately to integrate back into the marriage small group system. And then the third step, or the third spoke of this particular, or let's just say leg of a table, would be the leg where couples are so traumatized that they're going to need something special that's going to help get them at a place to where that they can get back with a couple, where that they can ultimately get back into a small group. So just like you find small group leaders, you can find couples who can do this middle piece where you're going to have to meet with them 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times, and just kind of help them learn some basic maneuvering abilities so that they can re-engage with the group. And then you're going to have to identify places where you can send someone. Maybe there is a terrible porn addiction. Maybe there is alcohol medication abuse. Maybe there is infidelity, and there's something that goes way back in their past. And those would be probably dealt with by people that are more clinical in nature, who have the experience, they know what to do. Because if somebody's in that much trauma, they've spent a long time deceiving, they've spent a long time covering. And sometimes you need somebody that's more of an expert to help dive into that a little bit. And I would just say this more as a commercial than anything else. If you guys aren't doing the Freedom small groups that are available at Highlands, I would strongly encourage you to do that, because they help so many people get past their yesterdays. Why? Because in marriage, so many people believe that your problem is not me, it's the person you're married to, rather than recognizing, I can only deal with me. I can't deal with you. I've got to learn to be the best husband I can be, and then let Renee, my wife, be the best wife that she can be before the Lord. We'll be a great couple at that point. But if all my focus is on her, we got problems. And one of the ways that you can really help all this is to understand that premarital is a great way to enter into a marriage without bringing all the baggage that's necessary. There was a guy who preached a message a long time ago, and the message was, how many camels will I need? And it was a message on getting ready to get married. And then the story is that if you have so much baggage in your life, then I've got to have a lot of camels to carry it. And premarital helps us begin to sort that out before a couple gets married. Wouldn't it be great to fix a lot of marriage issues before they become issues? And premarital is not the panacea for everything, but it's a fantastic start. And so we would recommend that your church develop an active premarital process. It is very simple to do. You basically have to find a marriage curriculum or a marriage system. For us, we've partnered with Drs. Les and Leslie Parrott, who created a product called Sempre, and we utilize that because it provides a way for a couple to take a survey that gives them a result. We put those people who have never been married before and who don't have children, that's key, this larger segment of the premarital population, we put them in small groups that use the training that Drs. Les and Leslie do. We put them in small groups to where they can cover the material that is in the survey so that there's a cohesive line of thought between the survey and the teaching that they do in the premarital process. It enables the couple that's leading the group to be in love with their young couples that are in there, and they don't have to worry about becoming great teachers. They can be great coaches and mentors to that young couple, and then they can exit out of that onto, and what you've done is you've built in the idea of small groups. You've built in the idea that pastoral care happens in a small group, not from the minister. It happens in a small group dynamic, and then they can go be married. They also have a core group of friends that they start their marriage with, and they also understand there's been accountability and relatability in that particular environment. Now, what about a couple that's been married before? Or what about a couple that has kids? Well, we would then take them through the same surveys, but we would do their processing one-on-one with the same type couples that would lead the small groups. These couples have been married a little longer, and they have the capacity to deal with the young couple who've never been married before. Their biggest argument that they're going to have is what color do the pillow shams need to be on the bed. When some of these other couples are there, his ex is actually in the front yard flinging expletives at the front door because of something that has to do with custody issues. They don't blend. So we have a couple that can walk them through that one-on-one, because really even a small group's a very difficult thing to do that with. It's a system, one that we use. You don't have to use it, but I think you need a system. And so premarital is a great opportunity for you to get into the lives of maybe couples that don't even go to your church, but they realize we're not going to do this well together and we need help. That's it about marriage and premarital.